Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It's January 6th, 2025. Great to be with all of you today. It's our second Daily Bites of 2025. My name is Bob Lang. It's great to be with all of you today. Let's talk a little bit about the markets and what we have going on here so far. Pretty nice rally we've had overnight into early this morning here. The pre-market S&P futures up about 43 handles. It was up a little bit higher earlier today, but backed off a little bit. Nasdaq up 197 points, almost 1%. Dow Industrials up 185 points as well too. And importantly, here we're seeing the Russell 2000, the IWM up almost 1.1%. Up to it ticked up of 227 on the IWM earlier this morning. It's backed off a little bit, but that's a big deal here. We have bonds actually down a little bit. The yields are backing back up. We're going to look at a chart of that in just a couple of moments here. So what do we have going on this week? So it's going to be a short trading week, everyone. So it's the reason for that is Thursday markets are going to be closed for a national day of mourning for President Carter. Former President Carter died about a week and a half ago at the age of 100. And it's going to be a day of mourning for him on Thursday, and the stock market is going to be closed on that day. So there won't be any trading to do on January 9th. But leading up until then, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, plenty of action, plenty of opportunity to make some trading. And Friday, of course, is the big day. It's the non-farm payroll report for December that's going to be coming out. So we're going to be watching that very, very closely, see how many new jobs were created, see what the inflation numbers look like, and anything else in between with some other reports we have. I'll show you some of the things that we have coming up here, including factory orders, and final U.S. PMI is coming out this morning at 9:45 Eastern time. Later in the week, we'll have Richmond President Tom Barkin, who started talking a little bit last week, and he'll be yapping about federal policy and the economy at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Minutes of the Fed meeting are coming out at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, along with the ADP report earlier in the morning. And then, of course, what I mentioned earlier about the jobs report coming out on Friday morning. That's at 8:30 Eastern time before the market opens. So where's Fed funds futures? We haven't looked at this one for a couple weeks here now. And you can see here, what I like to do is when it looks like there's only going to be a couple of rate cuts, I want to see where is the market hitting it right at the heart. And you can see right here, look at these two right here. These are the important numbers here. So 375 to 4, and then 4 to 4.25. Now we're currently at 4.25 to 4.5%. So I'm going to take these two and average them together and take the midpoint of that, and that would be about 4.12%, right, roughly. About 4. Let's call it 4%. So the Fed funds futures market is actually forecasting one rate cut in 2025 now. It was about 1.5% last week. So it's leaning towards 1%, and I say it's leaning towards 1%, one cut of 25 basis points, because you can see that the 4 to 4.25 is a little bit higher. And then if we add that to the no rate cut, this is 14% probability of 0 rate cuts in 2025. This is out to December, remember, okay? We have 8 meetings this year. First one will be at the end of January. And so it's about 47% chance of of either one rate cut or no rate cut. And then all the way down over here, here's the gamblers down here, looking for 4, 5, or 6 rate cuts at the end of by the end of December. Don't think that's going to happen, but of course the data is going to help the Fed navigate through the year and with monetary policy. So trying to make these predictions is like shooting. It's like shooting a gun into the water, and you have no idea where the fish are at. So so let's see how that comes out. I want to show you the bond yield. I talked about that just a couple months ago. The 10-year yield again, a couple weeks ago was pressing above 4.6%, and that was enough to trigger a lot of selling in the stock market. We saw a lot of selling at the end of 2024. The last 3 days were really miserable if you're a bull, but and then and it actually spilled over into this January 2nd, but we saw a nice turnaround on Friday, and we're going to see if we can follow through on that today. Of course, the futures are up again, as I mentioned, very strong here. We saw some good news overnight from Foxconn, which had some huge numbers, which bodes well for AI for names like Nvidia and even iPhone maker Apple and some other companies like that. Also bodes well for the materials companies like ASM Lithography, Applied Materials, KLA-10 Core, Lam Research. These names are going to probably do well off of that number. One name that I do like that I'm going to be adding to, which I did last week, is Taiwan Semi. TSM is going to be up nicely this morning. TSM is right here, up about $10 this morning, up to 219, near the new all-time highs. And if you're not in the chat room, well, here's an idea that I put out on Friday after the close. You can see here's our chat room over here, and you can see this is Bob's trades over here. This is a trade that I put out right after the market closed on Friday. And of course, you can trade index options like the SPY or the IWM, the QQQ, or the DIA for 15 minutes after the close, so up until 4:15 Eastern time. So I did add at 4:08, you can see the time there, some QQQ 519 calls at 3:40, and they expire on the 8th, so that's on Wednesday. You can see that the Qs are up $5.50 today. So those calls are going to do real nicely, and probably going to take some of those off. But if you're not in the chat room, you don't see this stuff, right? I'm going to try to start sharing more things on Twitter, but the real gold, the real valuable stuff is in the chat room. So I think you should take a shot and come on into the chat room if you have the chance, the ability to do that. So let's see, what else do we got here going for you? Earnings. Not a lot of earnings this week, but a couple of big names like Delta coming out on Friday morning before the open. Jefferies right after the close. That's been a really strong stock. Take a look at that one here for the most part. JEF, straight up since June, $44. It's up to $81 right now. It's been a horse for a while here. Some other names like Acuity Brands, KB Homes, PriceSmart are going to be coming out. Constellation Brands on Friday morning, Walgreens. So some of these names are important, but more big names are going to be coming out next week, and I believe that the banks are going to be coming out towards the end of the week, next week, Thursday and Friday, like JP Morgan, Citigroup, and the like. So it's going to be an interesting earnings season coming up here, and we're hoping that if we're bullish, we're hoping that the bulls can step in here and start making some waves before earnings season gets going. So I think it's going to be it, guys. It's a as always, you want to keep a little bit of protection on. You always want to have some cash working. Obviously, I know if you have some puts on right now, you don't feel like, oh my gosh, this is not going to be working for me right now. I get it, I understand, but the point or the purpose of having puts on is to lessen the volatility in your portfolio. And believe me, if you had some puts on at the end of 2024, you were happy and feeling fortunate that you had those puts on, because the S&P 500 got drilled for about 3 days in a row, right? And if you didn't have any puts on, you were stuck. You got hammered, and you started the year in the hole with that really poor day on Thursday, the day after New Year's. Hopefully, we've righted the ship here. Keep some cash handy if you have some ideas for some stuff to trade into. By all means, go ahead and step in there. I think it's going to be a good year. I think some people are saying that the S&P 500 is going to hit 7,000. I don't know. It could be 7,500. It could be 6,500. Who knows? Who cares? All we're doing is trying to pick stocks and pick names that are going to work for us to make us some money. That's all we care about, right? If we keep our focus and keep laser focused on that goal, then I think we can all do really well. Learn a lot and make some money along the way. Have a great day, everyone. I appreciate everyone spending a little bit of time with me. Please send this out to anybody you think might benefit from this. And quick shout out to my good friend Jim Barons this morning. It's his birthday. Happy birthday to you, Jim, and my amigo. And have a great day trading. And if you're in the chat room, I'll see you there. And I'll see you back here on the Daily Bites on Thursday morning on the 9th. Take care. Well, actually, I'm not going to be here on the 9th because the market will be closed. Maybe we'll come back on the 10th. We'll see what happens. And again, have a great trading day, and I'll see you guys all later on this week. Thanks. Bye. And all the world will love you just as long as you are. Johnny made a record, went straight up to #1. Suddenly everyone loves to hear him sing a song.